nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Please be seated. You heard from Supervisor Raddick, wasn't a mic drop, it was a battery pack drop. Item 3 is citizen concerns. If there are any people who would like to approach the board on an item not already addressed on the agenda. Seeing none. Item 4 is approval of the agenda. I'll move it. Second. Second by DeWitt. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Items 5 through 10 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 5 is approval of the minutes of the January 28th meeting. Item 6 is approval of the claims. Item 7 from Board Administration is approval of a resolution approving petition for suspension of taxes through the redemption process for initials MM. Item 8 from the County Auditor is to receive signatures for the Drainage District election canvases from the January 1st, 2020 Drainage District elections. Item 9 from the public bidder includes Item A, approval of a resolution for a notice of property sale for a parcel ending in 6003 for Tuesday, February 18th at 4:35 p.m. And Item B, which is approval of a resolution for notice of property sale for a parcel also known as 2205 West 2nd Street for Tuesday, February 18th at 4:36 p.m. Item 10 from Human Resources is approval of the Memorandum of Personnel Transactions. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Raddick. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. We're not yet at our set time for 4:35, so we'll move on to item 12 from the Board of Supervisors, myself. Don't have to tell you that we're down to 4 board members now. Although Mr. DeWitt is sitting over there, and you know we're looking to start some conspiracy theories on why he's moved. So if anyone in the public wants to,
I just want to be closer to the auditor.
if anyone in the public wants to start a conspiracy theory, you know, send your opinions to open line. Let everyone know what you think. With that, item A is election of Keith Raddick as the vice chairperson. I will make that nomination.
Second.
Second by Potabom. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Item B is approval of Chairman's revised 2020 liaison and committee assignments. We are faced with the proposition of splitting Supervisor Taylor's previous assignments. Of course, we'll have to come back to this after the special election, so this will be a bit of a work in progress. So I'll move that.
Second.
Second by Raddick. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Item C is approval of a revised Woodbury County Courthouse Advisory Committee for Historical Preservation, adding Keith Raddick to that list.
I'll move it.
I'll second the motion by Raddick. Hearing no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Thank you. We are at a 4:35 p.m. set time to my watch. This is a public hearing and sale of property parcel also known as 2509 10th Street. The public hearing is now open for anyone who wishes to speak for or against the sale of this property before we receive bids. So before we receive bids, is there anyone to speak? Hearing none, I move the public hearing be closed. Second by DeWitt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. We're now entertaining bids for this property. If someone would like to approach the microphone, state their name and address, and their opening bid.
Yes, my name is Cody Bolware. Boulware. My address is 2513 10th Street, and I'd just like to open with the minimum bid. I believe that was $586.
Correct. Is there anyone else who'd like to bid on this property? Going once, going twice.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we sell the property to Mr. Boulware for the bid amount.
Second the motion by DeWitt. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Congratulations. Yes. Thank you. Got a round of applause for or one applause.
I didn't even tell a joke yet.
That's why they applauded.
Item 13 from Secondary Roads is to award the sign body quote for a new sign truck body to maintainer of Sheldon, Iowa for $89,236.
Last week, we only had one bid present at the opening. The second bid had come into the Office of the Public Bidder, but it wasn't labeled. And when she opened the envelope, it looked like a regular manufacturer's folder, but it did indeed contain a bid. It was the lower of the two bids at the $89,236. In reviewing the bids from both Maintainer and Service Trucks International, we felt that the most responsive quote was from Maintainer, and we recommend that the board accept that quote number one, and number two, allow us to award to Maintainer of Sheldon, Iowa.
I'll move approval.
I'll second the motion by DeWitt to award the quote. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 14 from the board is another public forum for questions and discussions of the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center project, the March 3rd public referendum, and the duties of the Intergovernmental Authority. As usual, I'd like to start with the board. I'd like to say progress has been good. I've been thankful for those that have been out in the community and educating the public by radio, by meetings, really just entertaining any questions we can get. I'm a little bummed that there are no citizens here today because we have our architect, Larry Goldberg, here in the flesh that could answer all the tough questions we couldn't answer. With that, I want to turn it over to Mr. Raddick. I know he has some documents that we can receive or include in the next board packet.
So I got to thank Dennis for going out to Odo on my behalf. I was at the caucus last night. But 100% of the council in Odo signed letters of support for the jail project and the law enforcement center to be built. So move to receive these.
I'll second the motion. How many are those?
Is it 5 of 5?
The mayor, council, and the board.
What sort of a running total do we have right now?
Right now, we got, what, about 6 to 7 towns?
What was the motion?
To receive it.
Yeah, who did it though?
Me.
I second.
All right, thank you. Sorry.
We've had 100% out of most of the towns. There's one town, there was 2 assigned, and they were just questioning a couple things. They haven't got back to us.
They just took the oath that day, so I think they were a little tentative in their position. So.
But the total number so far is?
I think 6 or 7. We got 7 more to go. And there's 12 towns, so I'm sure we've been to 6.
Members, though.
Oh.
Numbers? Oh, it's probably, there's 5, about every place we go, there's 5 people signed, so we're probably talking 26, 30 people. But the nice part about this is these people are the nucleus of these small towns. So it's very important to have them kind of on board because they look to these people for guidance. And what kind of last night after they heard the stories, their options, they were pretty much in awe. I was surprised, really. And the big thing, I think, is just getting out and explaining to the people what the options are and what effects it could or could not have. I think we're trying to do that, and they got more meetings planned with various social clubs, service clubs, things like that. That'll help a lot. And there's an individual working as a private citizen, going to get a website going, also a Facebook site, could be online tomorrow.
So quickly on the motion to receive, all in favor say aye.
I
Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Thank you.
also had a chief in Moville that said he's excited to end the hug and release program and hopes we get this jail built sooner rather than later. So that was his words for it, the hug and release.
From the perspective of the authority, Mr. DeWitt, the language for the ballot was approved, is that correct?
Yes, sir. That as well as we had a meeting, a jail authority meeting last Friday in the old boardroom upstairs, and mostly procedural things we adopted, just kind of the things that get us set up and rolling. One of the issues was letterhead. Obviously, we agreed on that, and there were just, I think there were 7 or 8 items, but again, they're mostly procedural, so we can just start moving. We have talked about getting some more media coverage, so like some special coverage by the media, like a sit down in the studio and answer any questions. I know maybe all the local networks have those kind of things, but we still need to get those set up. Did we approve Dan Moore? I think was going to be approved as the
Third member?
yeah, since Mr. Scott stepped down. So we are an official crew right now, so that's all I got for the moment.
Does the county approve that, Dennis?
We don't have to, do we?
No.
Okay, we don't have to.
And what they also did is transfer our council, fiscal agent, and architect agreements over to the authority, because now authority's in charge of it, basically.
Yeah, that was one of them.
And we are the fiscal agent, Woodbury County is, to handle all their funds.
You were looking for something to do anyway, weren't you?
Sure. I don't have enough.
Any future meetings you want to mention?
Kenny, am I going to one at the chamber Thursday?
Yes, there is a chamber meeting with the authority at 7:30 a.m. Thursday. We'll be discussing some of the facts of the LEC and again, trying to get the word out.
I have gotten a couple emails from Chairman Wick, but I have not had time to read them, other than just kind of glance at them real quick. But Mr. Wick is doing a phenomenal job. He is running wild. So you can barely contain the man.
So for upcoming meetings, Cushing tonight, 6:30. Lawton tomorrow, and Pearson right after it, so 5:30 and 7 o'clock. We have the 7:30 a.m. with the chamber. I'll be there, Kenny, Ron, the sheriff, and police chief. And then that night, Smithland, 6 p.m. So quite a few councils left to hit, but we're going to get them all done by next week, Tuesday.
Mr. Goldberg, did you have a comment, or? Can you?
Good evening. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we have a planning meeting with the judges and the county attorney, and we're going to try and resolve, or at least get some direction on an issue of substantial importance to the planning of the LEC, and that is the disposition of the county attorney's offices relative to staying across the street or moving into the proposed facility. We have got 2 options as I see it. One is that the indictment and the indictment division moves out there and the rest of the divisions remain in the county courthouse, or the 3 divisions move out there, leaving the civil division in the county courthouse, and primarily then criminal trials that would take place in the courthouse would really be limited then. The square footage range is maybe 3,000 or 4,000 square feet for the one option versus 9,000 or 10,000 square feet for the other option. So there's some difference, but it can probably be absorbed within the budget either way. But this would set the tone for years to come for how the county attorney's office would perform. To me, if you want to have some showcase trials or high visibility trials in the showcase courtrooms in the county courthouse, I certainly understand that. But to try and get the majority of the cases out there at the LEC so that you're not continuing to transport prisoners would seem to me to make an awful lot of sense. And what I'm trying to do is avoid a situation that ends up being neither fish nor fowl. You see what I'm saying? All right. This is the purview of the County Board of Supervisors. And so I'm here specifically not only to let you know this meeting is taking place, but to ask, if possible, a county supervisor attend the meeting. Rocky, I don't know if it can be you, because if Ron and you were there, then I want to make sure you don't violate sunshine laws by being there without being properly noticed. So that's something you all can decide, but I am asking that a county supervisor be present, because ultimately the disposition of bricks and mortar in this case are your responsibility and your purview. Thank you.
And I would, but I have another county meeting at that time.
Tomorrow at 11, I'm not available either.
I had sent you an email a couple of days.
Right, and I was just going to ask Mr. Woodman thoughts on that.
I think Larry's concern is a legitimate one. It's matters within the scope of the authorities' decision-making purview to some extent. So, yeah, unless it's noticed as a authority meeting, it probably shouldn't be rocky.
I think that as a board, I think we can still, the authority is what's going to make the decisions on how it's built. And, as a board, I think we can, go along with whatever decisions are made by that authority. So we are going to be the ones paying most of the bill. So I think whatever makes the most sense financially long-term be best, and of course not transporting people would be ideal.
Would you like to or be able to attend?
I've already got a whole day of interviews lined up tomorrow.
We are all full up with meetings.
So if we can just get a review of what's discussed.
Okay.
So no, I'm not going.
Okay.
No, I'm.
Joshua, if the meeting remains informational rather than a decision, because the decision certainly wouldn't be made tomorrow at 11, would that relieve Rocky of a potential conflict if it was nothing but a fact-finding, informational type meeting?
You'd have to be careful there. I mean, the line between discussion, I mean, obviously there's not going to be a final decision, but if you're going into that deliberation phase, then you'd have to stay away from that as far as, this makes sense more than another option. So I'd say you'd probably want to steer away from that.
Okay. All right, well, if no supervisor can attend, then we'll just go ahead and take notes and distribute them to you.
Okay.
All right, very good, thank you.
You want to take Dennis?
What's that?
Can we volunteer Dennis?
Not another meeting with Dennis. Okay, our
He's
pleasure.
I plan on being over there.
I was going to say, because aren't you the 6th supervisor or something?
Who started that anyway?
I don't remember at this point, Dennis.
Thank you.
Mr. Potabom. Departmental updates on the jail. Kenny?
Just that, I don't know, we continue to have new problems crop up daily. One occurred just again yesterday when Larry was in a meeting with Ron Wick over at the LEC. We had another leak. Not unusual, but we have something, it seems like a new event every day almost. So, also not as a department head, but I guess as a citizen of our community, I would like to strongly suggest that the media, jump on board with both feet and try to help get the message out to the public on why we need a new jail. It's not because we want to raise taxpayers' levy rates or annual payments on their properties. It's because we have a choice to make, or the citizens of this community have a choice to make. And unfortunately, there's no good outcome for whatever choice they decide upon. One way or another, we're going to spend some money in Woodbury County on a law enforcement center, whether it be by breakdown of the current facility. Could be a catastrophic breakdown at any time with the HVAC and plumbing systems that we have, or it could be an expenditure for a new facility. There's not a good outcome. Of course, the only welcome outcome that could possibly transpire, which no one can certainly predict, and again, it would be a citizen commitment. If we were able to build a facility that was large enough to house other county districts or federal inmates or anything like that, that would offset or actually pay for the facility in the long term. But again, I'll reiterate that we need the media's help on getting this out. Of the meetings I've been to, the public that do attend keep telling us, how come we don't hear anything about this? How come we don't hear anything about this?
Because they got to get off Facebook and turn on the TV again, I guess.
A meeting we had this morning, they said, how come you're not inviting the media? And the response was, the media has been invited. We just need to try to get them here.
Which meeting?
We had a meeting actually today with general contractors in the area to discuss why we need a new facility and the current problems with our existing facility, what a new facility might look like if it were built, to give them an idea of all the facts that we currently know. Thank you.
Yes.
So then the meeting at the Siouxland Chamber, do we need to have a public announcement, 24-hour announcement for that?
Only if you went with Ron.
And that's what the plan is, Ron's going to be there.
Yeah, because the people that I said that would be there was going to be me, Ron, Kenny, Sheriff, and Chief. So with that, we didn't need.
Did you want me there then?
I think anytime we can get a board member at the meeting, it's
So then it would need to be noticed.
fine. It's whatever you gentlemen, prefer or agree upon.
You don't have to go to another meeting if you don't want. But if you do, then
Live for the meeting.
you definitely need to tell the board office to post it.
No, let's post it.
And you would post it as a majority of the joint authority.
Yeah. For Thursday at 7:30. That's the only day.
You better post it tonight. Because they will.
I'm either going to stay late tonight or come in early this morning. It has to be sent out, and I don't start until 8 officially.
Can you post it tonight, please?
Just do it right now while we're talking.
But that should be for the authority and the board, correct? Just authority?
Because it's just 2 board members. Oh, actually, that, oh my gosh, that's a majority now.
2 authority members there.
Or how would that work? 2 of 4 doesn't, that wouldn't pass, so I guess no.
No.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Sorry, it's complicated.
Any,
Just to be clear, quorum for this board is still 3.
3, until you vote for the budget. Because I asked that question the other day, it's still officially a 5-member board with 1 vacancy. So-
Right, that's because of the rule specific to the budget.
Yeah, okay.
Right, but you, yeah, I mean, and 2 isn't even, 2 out of 4 still isn't a
Because the
quorum.
budget's got to be 4,
Right.
but otherwise.
It doesn't change how we notice meetings.
Correct.
any public questions or anything from anybody on the jail? Or the election, or the authority? Very well. Actually, Mr. Auditor, the notices for that date are in the mail now?
Yes,
Or soon to
Yep.
be in the mail?
they are in the mail.
Okay.
People are receiving them today.
People will receive those and with notice of where they'll be voting?
Yep.
Okay. That concludes this item. Item 15 is reports on committee meetings. No? Item 16, any board concerns, or citizen concerns? Item 17, any board concerns? We are adjourned.
The plan, right?